Final segment of A to Z here on this Labor Day Friday. Appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out all the shows here on the Locked On Sports Atlanta Network. Again, at Locked On ATL on Twitter, at Mark Zinno. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Guys, 3,000 subscribers in just a few months. You're all amazing. We appreciate the love and support. Let's keep it rolling. But right now, let's do a shovel of wisdom. All right.
Brace yourselves, because it's time for the Shovel of Wisdom.
Yeah, that deserves a shovel of wisdom. That little stall job there. All right, you know how we do it every day. Like to whack somebody upside the head for doing or saying something stupid. You can do so on my Twitter account at MarkZinno, MarkZinno. Use the hashtag Shovel of Wisdom. And today my shovel goes to Brett Favre. Having trouble technologically today, boys. All right, Brett Favre. It's generally never a good idea to take money for things you didn't do. If you agree to perform a service, you should do the service and then get paid for it. Brett Favre is in a legal entanglement, as they say. Apparently, he took money from the state of Mississippi, in fact, Mississippi welfare money, $1.1 million in federal welfare funds for alleged money for nothing speaking engagements. So he was told he was going to get paid for a speaking engagement, never did the speaking engagement, and got paid anyway. Now, Favre says he eventually paid the money back, and even though he insisted he did nothing wrong, he was sued for interest on the money he received. Now, Favre hasn't been accused of any crime, but he did get questioned by the FBI, which always is an issue. Again, don't take money for things you didn't do if you agree to take money for things that you were supposed to do. And oh, by the way, I've learned this, and I can say this with a fair amount of certainty. Whenever it's government money and it's given to you erroneously, they get it back. Like all of it, always, with penalties and everything else. Like that is the government's way. So if you took money from somebody and you didn't pay it, or you didn't do what you were supposed to do for it, well, guess what? The government's coming back for their money. I promise you, they are coming back for their money. Like all of them. Trust me. Okay. And I don't say that again because I did anything wrong, by the way. I'm just saying that because I've dealt with the military and the VA. When they give you money erroneously, they come back and they get it very, very quickly. Like, hey, yeah, that's not yours. That's ours. We'll take it. Thank you. Okay, speaking of taking money, that's what we did last night on West Virginia plus 7.5. But we have 3 big college games to get to that I have my eyes on this weekend. And these are the games that I have handicapped for a couple of different sports gambling websites. And by the way, tonight I'm taking Illinois plus 3 on the road against Indiana, who is yet to tell anybody who their starting quarterback is. Illinois dominated in their win over Wyoming, and they actually look like they're going to get a decent quarterback this year with Tommy DeVito. Hey, Tommy D. But Chase Brown is insane. The running back for Illinois rushed for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. So I do like Illinois tonight getting the points. But 3 games over the weekend. And I'll start with my 2 best. Okay. Arkansas laying 6.5 against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Okay, here's the deal, folks. This is just a complete mismatch physically. There is absolutely no reason to believe that Cincinnati can keep up with Arkansas. First of all, Cincinnati has lost a ton, most notably their quarterback and a whole bunch of guys to the NFL. I think they lost 12 draft picks to the NFL last year. So Desmond Ridder obviously gone. The Razorbacks returned KJ Jefferson. They returned 8 starters on offense. This is a team that is going to physically abuse Cincinnati for 4 quarters. The Arkansas offensive line has an average weight of 316 pounds. Cincinnati D-line weighs 271. Think there will be some holes open for them? Yeah, I do. And oh, by the way, the Bearcats' offensive line averages 309 pounds. Arkansas's D-line, 309 pounds. Like, the decided physical advantage they'll be able to take over. And even though Traylon Burks has gone in the NFL, KJ Jefferson is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country. If he can't find guys open, he'll take off with his legs. I expect this game to be the same level of dominance that we saw from Alabama against Cincinnati last year. I think it's that level of mismatch physically between these two teams. One of my favorite games of this weekend is the Utah Utes that are laying 2.5 down in the swamp in Gainesville. I've heard so many people say, oh, you know how hard it is to win in the swamp? You know how hard it is to win in Gainesville? Dear Lord. Florida's not going to be good this year, folks. They are at best 6-6, maybe 7-5 if they get lucky. But that is a team in a state of transition. Billy Napier takes over. Anthony Richardson is not the answer at quarterback, at least not yet. I haven't seen anything to make me believe it. He threw just 64 passes last year, 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's not good. On the flip side, Utah might have a Heisman candidate on their hands in Cameron Rising. Cam Rising, the quarterback of Utah. He's going to have a phenomenal year again. This is the same offense. They returned 7 starters. 8 starters on offense for Utah. But this is the same offense that dropped 45 on Ohio State in the Rose Bowl last year, one of the most exciting games I've seen in a while. They also average running 69 plays per game on offense. That's insane. They've got the best running back in the country, possibly, in Tavion Thomas. He scored 21 touchdowns last year. Look, Utah is just better than Florida on both sides of the ball. I know that Napier is going to try to make Florida more physical and try to run the ball, but this is a mismatch on more than just paper. Utah is a better team. And I get the fact that they have to go to Florida and win in a very tough place. And I'm not saying the Swamp isn't a tough place to win. What I am saying is that this is a complete mismatch. And Utah is by far a better team. And they should win this thing handily. Only a 2.5-point spread? Whew. Man, feels like a gift to me. Feels like a gift. And then finally, Georgia, Oregon, 3:30, ABC, Mercedes Benz Stadium, just the way we like it on opening college football weekend, or at least week 1. The Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic at the Benz. Obviously, it's like a de facto home game for Georgia. I would expect to see some yellow and green Oregon fans running around there. Georgia's reloaded at running back, Kendall Milton, Kenny McIntosh. And I don't think their passing attack should be underestimated. Brock Bowers obviously is going to be the primary target for Stetson Bennett. But still, UGA averaged 36 rushes per game last year and just 26 passes. I'm not saying that that's something that can't be flipped in any particular game, but Kirby Smart has a history of being super balanced and conservative in week 1 games. Last year against Clemson, he ran 31 times and passed 30. 2020, it was a 47-42 pass run split. And in 2019, he ran 40 times to 23 passes. I mean, this is what he does in the beginning of the year. He's not going to back away from the run to throw the football all over the field. He's not going to allow his team to beat himself. He's going to face Bo Nix, a guy who's familiar with him from his time at Auburn. And last year, Nix threw for 217 yards in a game that was just 17-3 at halftime against Georgia. So, Dan Lanning now taking over, former assistant for UGA. I don't think he'll get pushed around as much as we would expect. Oregon's still got one of the better offensive lines in the country. We should be able to open up some holes for Byron Caldwell, the feature running back in the offense now. But Kirby Smart's not going to run it up against his former assistant. The only way Georgia covers this thing, in my opinion, is if they score 28 in the first half. If they get up to a 24-0 lead, then yeah, there's a good chance that they may trade touchdowns in the second half, and that's about it. And you get a 31-10 kind of final. But I think Oregon keeps this close. I think it goes under, and I think Oregon keeps it close. So I think Georgia wins the game. I don't think they're in danger of losing the game in any size, way, shape, or form. But I think that they keep it close. So Georgia to win, Oregon to cover 17.5, and the number says it when you get 17.5. 34-17 final, you're a winner with Oregon, and Georgia still wins the game. All right, that'll do it for us here on this Friday, September 2nd, before Labor Day. No show on Monday. Obviously, we're off on the holiday. Want you guys to have a long, wonderful, safe holiday weekend. Enjoy all the football. We'll be back here on Monday, or Tuesday rather, to break it all down in the next edition of A to Z. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Don't take the crap from anybody. See you.